Star Wars The Clone Wars Complete Season 1. Hey, what's up? This is my review on Star Wars The Clone Wars The Complete Season 1. Kinda what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be talking about, in every minute, I'll be talking about every episode. I'll talk about what I liked about it, and what I didn't like, and if it was a high for me, or if it was a low for me. But overall this season, I thought it was really good. It started off really cool. It was better than the movie, I'll give it that. It was way better than the movies. Some parts especially. And so, kind of a spoiler warning if you have not seen any of the movie. If you haven't seen Season 1, which hopefully you did. Because this came out in 2008, I believe. 2008, yeah. Alright, so I'll just start off. Alright, so Episode 1 was Ambush. I thought this episode was really cool. It had Yoda along with these 3 clones. And I thought it was a really kind of cool, kind of moral episode. Like, Yoda is kicking a lot of butt, and then the clones are kicking butt too, but it's mainly Yoda. And also, okay, so the main premise of the episode is Yoda and these 3 clones gotta go down to this planet Tidaria and gotta persuade King Katungo to join the Republic. And Asajj Ventress is trying to make him come to the Separatist side. And she says that she is going to send 100 droids after Yoda, and Yoda agrees to this bet. So then he beats the droids, and I thought it was really cool that Yoda kind of defined these clones differently. They're not all the same; they all have different traits. Alright, so the second episode was Rising Malevolence. Now, this episode kind of was a low for me. The last one was high, but this one kind of just lowered the bar a little bit. And this is part of a 3-story arc, and I thought, it was okay for what it was. Mainly, the thing is there's a new weapon, pretty much a new ship that General Grievous and Count Dooku have made, and they blew up General Plo Koon's ship. So then General Plo Koon, along with these couple other clones, have to survive. And Grievous sends out these droid hunters to kill all the survivors, while Anakin and Ahsoka are debating with the Council to go there and rescue them, or if they can't, because there have been no survivors at all. That was cool. And the ship, and then they are the survivors. Then now they know what the weapon is like. It's kind of a low for me. Now, Shadow of the Malevolence was kind of on the same level as Rising Malevolence. It just wasn't my forte or cup of tea, something like that. I liked the final battle. That final battle with the ships, I thought that was fantastic. But everything else leading up to that I didn't feel like it was really important. I just didn't I just was bored, kinda. But I still liked the episode. It's just, But the main thing is General Grievous is going to blow up this medical frigate. Blow up this medical frigate with this malevolence. And Anakin and Plo Koon and Ahsoka and some other clones have to go and stop him before he does that. And they do, and they blow up that, the energy beam that shoots out and just makes everything stop working. And then it implodes on itself, so then the ship is not malfunctioning, it's still be able to move, and everything, but it's not really working. Alright, so Destroy Malevolence. I thought this episode kind of got a little bit higher, but not really. Like maybe an inch higher. Well, it's just, the Padme and C-3PO thing, I didn't really care about, really. It's just, I would have preferred it if, I just wouldn't have had Padme in there. I would have taken her out and put somebody else in there. But I see what the point of it was, is because Anakin has to go there and rescue her. Anakin and Obi-Wan have to go on the Malevolence because Padme and C-3PO get on the ship because Darth Sidious is plotting his evil plot. And then Obi-Wan has a battle with Grievous. I like that. And then 3PO gets split up from the group, and then Anakin and Padme, malfunction the ship, and they send it into a moon, and the Malevolence explodes. Grievous escapes, and so do they. And it's just a big happy ending. Now, I just thought it was, okay. Alright, so Now, the 5th episode, Rookies. Raise the bar up even higher. I love this episode so much. On this episode, I really loved to see clones, because, in my opinion, these clones are kind of just... I like these clones. They are cool in this episode, because you got Captain Rex, Commander Cody, have to come in and inspect this station. But then, the people at this station, these clones, are being attacked by commando droids. And then the commando droids are posing as the clones. And only 3 clones survive, and that is Heavy, Echo, and Fives. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know that name if you guys have seen the whole series. And that was really cool. I loved this episode, and you saw them, all these clones, kicking a lot of butt. And then the sacrifice by Heavy just sold it. I loved this whole episode, every single second. It was just, I loved it. It was amazing. Now, Downfall of a Droid kind of lowered the bar a little bit again. So, pretty much the whole thing is Anakin is fighting Grievous, well, in his spaceship, because they don't meet until episode 3, so they're fighting in these spaceships, and Anakin's ship gets hit, it explodes on itself, well, kind of. Anakin gets rescued, but R2 doesn't. So then, this whole episode is Anakin trying to find R2, so then he goes onto this guy's ship, who's working for Grievous, who has him hidden. Anakin can't find him, and then they have to leave. And, so then this guy, Ganacht, I think it was, he took R2 to Grievous in the next episode. And then, Anakin gets a new droid called Goldie. That was really kind of interesting. I thought that was okay. And they had some more battles with that, and, And then, so the episode ended with Anakin's like, I need to find R2. I need to. I'm not going to stop until I get him. Now, Duel of the Droids, I thought that one was really good. Because you got Anakin, Ahsoka, Rex, and some other clones going out there to find R2. And they get on this, sort of, you saw them at the end of episode 2 where Anakin told them to shoot that down. That's where they are. They're in one of those ball things. And it's on this planet, and then they have to go and rescue R2. Anakin goes off on his adventure to rescue R2. And Ahsoka has to go with the clones and Goldie and stop and try and blow up this factory. And then, so Ahsoka then eventually fights General Grievous and takes off. And Rex and one other clone are still alive. And Goldie is with Ahsoka. And it turns out Goldie is a traitor and is working for General Grievous. And I thought that was really interesting. And I like that kind of plot twist. So then, everyone escapes. They got R2 back, and R2 had a little battle. I like that. And then, they all just left. And, it's fine. And then, Bombad Jedi. I did not like... Jar Jar was the main letdown of this episode. I did not like Jar Jar at all. It's just... I don't see why he had to be in it. I could have seen somebody else. What if Padme's royal guards, one of her royal guards were there? That could have been cool to see. But the main premise is Padme has to go to this planet where her uncle lives. And her uncle is like a Greedo kind of character, but it's not, it's like the same species. So then she goes after them, and she gets captured by Nute Gunray. And then Jar Jar poses to be a Jedi because he finds Anakin's Jedi cloak, and then it's just Ragnar. It's just, a mess. He causes everything. And then eventually they capture Nute Gunray, and he gets on to the next episode. And this is a 3-part series. So then the next episode, Cloak of Darkness. That went way up. I loved this episode. It was perfect. Oh, I loved it. Now, Cloak of Darkness, it was fantastic. I loved it. There was another traitor, Argaius. He's like one of those Senate commandos. He's a blue kind of guy. He's got a Senate kind of guard, but you saw him in episode 1 with Chancellor Valorum. And I thought that was fantastic, and I like that traitor sort of element, that there's somebody in there, and then they have to find out who it is, but they don't really find out, because Commander Greef fights him, and then Ventress comes on board to release Gunray, which they do. Then Luminara, Unduli, and Ahsoka Tano go out and attack Ventress. But Ahsoka has to stay there right away, and then she breaks Luminara's thing, and she goes after her to help her, Luminara. And then Ventress gets Gunray, and then she kills Argaius, and then they take off. Now, Layer Grievous raised the bar even higher. I loved this episode so much, as well as the last one. And it's just pretty much Kit Fisto, his old Padawan, and some clones go into Grievous's home. And I thought that was really cool, because you got to see Grievous's home, and that's pretty awesome, I'd say. So that they actually get there and take off, and they go into his home, and they see like all these relics and everything. I thought that was really cool. And Grievous doesn't know that they're there. And then, you know, Grievous fights them, and then he gets badly injured, and then they have to, this droid takes his mask off, but you don't get to see what's under the mask. And I thought that episode was really good, and everybody dies except for Kit Fisto. I thought that was sad. But Kit Fisto held his own against General Grievous, but his Padawan did not, because his Padawan was a failure. Just kidding. The Darth Vader's pretty cool. So, Dooku captured. This will be the last episode on this review. Okay, so the main premise is Dooku gets captured by these Maqualian pirates after Anakin and Obi-Wan blow up his ship. And then Dooku's ship like malfunctions. It's that same Geonosian ship. He ends up on this planet, Vancor, I believe it is. And then Anakin and Obi-Wan follow him there and end up in a crash landing, I believe. Yeah, crash landing. And then these pirates, Hondo Ohnaka, he was like the main villain of this arc. Hondo Ohnaka, he's the one who captured him along with some of his pirate friends, and they ransomed Dooku to the Jedi, to the Republic. And, you know, Anakin and Obi-Wan go there. There's not really a big battle. It's just at the beginning when Anakin fights Dooku. Now, that was really, you know, it just, and then it just ends. Obi-Wan and Anakin are having a drink. And like, yeah. Alright, so yes, this is the first half of Star Wars Clone Wars Season 1. I'll be doing this for both seasons. Well, for all 5 seasons. For the 6th season, it won't take that long because there's only 13. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next review. May the Force be with you.